always get that wrong. Alright, so I'd like to let everybody know about a quick offer I made before I start doing comedy. I've got a spotter in the crowd tonight, and anybody who laughs at my jokes will get an advance warning to move your vehicle before I drive out of here. So I almost didn't make it here. Got arrested for the first time last week. I was downtown and I ran into another blind guy, and all of a sudden the cops are jumping on us, wrestling us to the ground, slapping handcuffs on me. I keep telling the cop over and over again, it's like, calm down, Poncherella. There's no assault going on here, we're just trying to fist bump. Calm down. It's kind of my own fault. I started walking again. I got tired of answering the same questions over and over again from my wife. Like, honey, why is our car parked at such a funny angle? On the 5 o'clock news. On the roof of Winco. Look, I've got the talking stick.
Right.
It'll get passed around. It's your time. You can make all the noise you want. Mind your manners.
All right, brother.
People always make fun of me. They laugh when I talk about driving. But seriously, I only missed one. I got one bad mark on my driver's test. Apparently, taking out a wagon full of Girl Scout cookies is enough to disqualify you. But seriously, I got no credit at all for turning away from the screens and missing the card table in front of Walmart where all the scouts were sitting. There was a guy back east a couple of years ago who had just learned how to drive. Got behind the wheel of the car, kind of panicked, something happened in traffic, a loud noise. Drove all the way through a, thank God, mostly empty restaurant, out through the back wall into the alley. When the cop showed up, he was trying to push start the car because it was blocking a fire door. He completed, this is a true story, he completed a couple of classes and he got his driver's license back. Now see, that wouldn't have happened with me. Do you honestly think I could do any worse than that? My seeing eye dog is trained to stomp on the brakes with all 4 feet when he feels an impact. We just stopped by the second row of tables. Half the restaurant would have been saved. So when somebody does catch a ride with me, I always tell them the most important thing is to keep the instructions very short, simple, to the point. Just say turn left, turn right, leave out all the, oh my God, we're gonna die crap. That's my reaction time down to 0. Just the other day I got in a really horrible accident. And it wasn't exactly my fault though. My navigator was on the passenger floor, curled up in the fetal position, weeping and sucking his thumb like a baby. So you get it. I actually blamed the city though, because to avoid offending any Native Americans or random superheroes, they took all the arrows off the street signs. Really? That strap is going to get worse than that. If that's the one, I always tell people if my jokes offend you, make sure to check you spell them right. Now, I'm actually an excellent driver, don't be so concerned. It's because I have multiple personalities and we're not all blind. Speaking of multiple personalities, how do you guys feel about legalized marijuana?
Yeah.
I was actually shocked to find out some people are against it. I did not see that coming. But I gotta tell you, legalized marijuana has made, I'm not an opinion either way, but legalized marijuana has made life tough on a blind guy. I used to be able to find 7-Eleven, AM, PM, Domino's Pizza, no problem at all. Just as soon as I got a little whiff of OG Kush or something, I knew I had arrived. But now with some idiot copping a buzz every 10 to 15 feet up and down the street, I found myself wandering around from car to car going, oh, excuse me, officer, do you know where 7-Eleven's at? I wish I was joking. Seriously, the cop,
For sure.
the cop was smoking Blue Dream. Nice choice, but a bit obvious, don't you think? So it's a rough life out there for a blind kid. That's funny. I had to buy this new cane just to do these comedy nights. They used to go around with an all-white cane, and people be screaming while I'm on stage saying I'm a fake, saying it's not a real blind cane, it doesn't have red on the end of it. First of all, don't call them blind canes. This thing couldn't see if you had a job. But I get up here to do comedy and waste half of my set explaining to these people that historically 2 groups of people have used white canes. Blind people and mimes. And since there's absolutely no way we're going to be able to get together and communicate and decide who has the rights to it, we're just going to have to share for now, so get over it. Is that better? Okay.
Good job.
So it's a whole different world out there for people like me. Try to imagine moving to a new town and trying to find a girlfriend right away without being able to read any of the writing on bathroom walls. Not even a phone book. You know, and the bathroom walls are especially tough, because even if that wasn't Braille, I can hear what's going on. This all next to mine. There's no way I'm touching the walls of there. It's not happening. You know, the things are different for you guys. In your world, this is called an Adam's apple. In my world, that's Braille for use caution when kissing above this line after operating an alcoholic beverage. So people send me videos and pictures and memes on Facebook. That's the whole joke. I really thought it'd be redundant to write a bunch of time. That one kind of speaks for itself, and I hope they're listening.
That was too fast.
So you guys ever get that feeling that, not fear, you know, but alertness when you're driving along and see a sign that warns you of danger coming up? Like a sign that says falling rock, and instantly you're kind of on guard, you know, you're watching the road, and you're making sure that you're safe and there's no rocks. Well, try to imagine living in a world where that doesn't happen. There are no warnings. When I go to a park, there are no Braille signs that say don't feed the bears. There's just a couple of hungry bears and one completely uninformed food source. Excuse me, I should have brought my drink. I'm good. So my signature started to get really sloppy after losing my eyesight. So I started signing everything, just a great big X. Next thing I know, Donald Trump's suing me for copyright infringement. And you know, people treat us differently, and not always in a good way. Sometimes it really sucks. Our internet got hacked. So I called customer service trying to get it straightened out. And apparently somebody had been downloading a bunch of kids' movies and a bunch of dirty movies. I'm assuming to keep the kids busy while they're keeping themselves busy. But the guy from customer service, he's talking to me, and I explained to him my situation. He says, you know, come on, let's be honest here, bro. You can't see. Isn't it possible that your wife downloaded this shit behind your back? And I said, well, Disney movies and porn? God, I hope so. But you know, I met the woman, and as much as I would approve of that sort of behavior, chances are she wouldn't participate. But I get in trouble like that all the time. I say things like that way too often. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, how does your wife put up with you? And I said, my wife does not put up with me. She gets back at me. Those are two completely entirely different things. She does little things to keep me on my toes. She's pretty clever. I'm trying to remember all the things that she's done. Well, she likes to move the furniture like an inch to the left or right every time I leave the house. She's moved the mailbox up to a block and a half away. I got home one day, she had lowered the clothesline 3.5 feet. That was fun. She leaves the plunger in the toilet. Yeah, mock my pain. She got really creative the other day. She busted into her scrapbooking supplies and got out an embosser, if anybody knows what that is. Started adding letters to all my Braille books. I thought I was reading Wayne Gretzky's autobiography, you know, a simple book about hockey. All of a sudden it turns into this really strange incarnation of 50 Shades of Grey. I turned to my wife going, hey honey, shouldn't this say puck? Scored a goal? Penalty box maybe? I was confused. She was laughing at me harder than I laughed at her when she cries during Game of Thrones. Do me a favor though, don't make trouble for me and judge my wife. I kind of have to put up with it. Because of my frequent Twitter rants about Bigfoot's gender identity and the curious absence of Braille-themed strip clubs, I'm not considered dating material. So, it never ends. I almost got arrested again this morning. I was downtown again, this time hanging out in the park, and I ran into a mime. The mime's talking away, and I'm trying to figure out what he's saying. Here come the cops again. But this time it turned out better. The cops were so stoned I got away. The mime didn't though. Apparently he was trapped in a box. Thank you.